Hi everyone, my name is Leyla. I am a ninth grade student of the European Azerbaijan School, and I'm planning to talk about my personal project. I will talk about the goal of it, I will talk about the issues that I have overcome through the project, I will talk about the weaknesses that I had before as a student, and also I'm planning to show my product to you. Firstly, let me start with explaining and giving a brief explanation about the personal project itself. The personal project gave me the opportunity to express myself in the area of a personal interest. It helped me to develop new or additional skills and to reflect my work through limited amounts of time, as the deadline of this project was still 7th of February. During this whole time, my abilities were challenged through different assessments and issues that I had to solve, and it helped me to develop skills such as thinking, self management, knowledge, care, and communicating. Now, what was my personal project? The goal of my personal project was to help a family of martyr in a financial way. Martyr's family is a family that was affected mentally and financially by the loss of their family member due to the Karabakh war that happened 5 months ago in Azerbaijan. Basically, there is a community that raises 1,000 manat per month in order to help many families who can't afford their personal needs. Me and my family decided to take part in this charity, and I personally plan to raise 200 or more manats. I will do this by drawing, and after selling my artworks that I have personally painted, I used acrylic and oil paint, and with them my artworks would look more realistic and beautiful. I had to create at least 5 or 6 artworks which had to be attractive and good quality in order for me to sell them. The global context for my personal project was personal and cultural expressions. The main goal that I had to achieve in this global context was to express myself and the beauty of my work. I have expressed all these traits through different drawings and paintings that I've made. I'm going to show you my products right now. So this is the painting A. In here we can observe a sunset. I have drawn it with acrylic paint. By drawing the sunset, I try to represent the beauty of the overflowing warm and cold colors. After I finished showing it, I understood that I actually used my imagination in describing the sunset from my point of view, which is one of the most important requirements of this global context. This is another drawing D. I expressed what a peace in a family looks like through drawing the trees in a form of woman and men. The way they stand in harmony and their leaves spread through the other 4 drawings is another representation of peace, understanding, and love. The painting B represents the overflow of colors in the clouds as the pink, blue, dark blue, also purple colors mix. The drawing E represents the Chinese tree, pink wisteria. It is one of the most beautiful trees in Japan. And finally, the last but not least is the other sunset drawing C. The painting shows the sea and the trees that look like the gate which open up the view to a sunset. Now you will ask me, did you finally raise and donate the needed amounts of money and achieve your goal? Well, the answer is obviously yes. Here we can see a check uh, that shows the evidence that I have transferred the money that had been raised for the charity. I personally sold my products and paintings to the people who were interested in my work. This is the comments that people left under the posts of my work. And this is the evidence of me selling these artworks. Yes, to be honest, in the beginning of my project, it was hard for me to establish my time and priorities step by step, well organized, structured plan. I established the way to enable self prioritization, and the solution that I found was the following. I made a list of things where I had to follow in priority order to not get distracted and achieve my goal. These were keep to class schedules and project deadlines, right? As I knew if I wouldn't follow this rule, I wouldn't achieve anything. The other thing that I created was I made a journal where I set the deadlines. I had to practice focus and concentration to overcome distraction. This advice was a big help, not only for the project, but personally for me to develop self management and concentration needed in future. I had to make informed choices to achieve a balanced nutrient, rest, and relaxation. I understood the importance of making the right choices on time. For example, it is better to study in the daytime rather than a nighttime, as you have to get rest and relax before another complicated day of studying. These are some issues that I have faced through the project. Identify problems. One of the problems that I had to solve was the problem that the whole world is facing nowadays, which is coronavirus. As I already said, I have struggled with going out to buy products due to quarantine. The government allowed people to leave their houses only for 3 hours, and I have found the way to. I found the shop on Instagram online, and I had to find their location and make it all on time there and back home in 3 hours. Seeing possibilities, problems, and challenges positively. Actually, this one was enjoyable. The struggle of not being able to go out due to quarantine made my solutions more creative and funny. You ask what solutions? Well, for example, because at the first I was not able to acquire Canva, I used a wood material which you can draw on. Firstly, I thought of selling it, but then I changed my mind as the shops did open. By that, I also learned how to draw on wooden material, and I can probably manage doing that in future. The personal project made me grow not only academically, but also it made me grow as a person. I was not so confident in delivering my message and writing essays. Looking back to previous class years, I could not deliver my message and idea properly. I was too shy in making projects. Now I feel more confident and understand the whole importance and the meaning and challenges that we're facing. The other thing that I could not do before, I could not balance myself as a student. I was too distracted and I wasn't focusing on my priorities. But sooner or later, I did overcome my bad habits, and now I have developed more confidence. The things I found helpful were the change in the environment, the planning table, and also I started to approach my homeworks and deadlines more attentively, which is really important. I gave a thought to myself, finding solutions to each challenge that seemed impossible to solve for me. And by the end of this project, I understood that I have developed a very important skill, which is open minded. Also, before I have struggled in communication with people. Um, by socializing and sharing ideas between students my age gave me more confidence in delivering my idea and made me less shy. Another thing that helped me develop social and communication skills is by writing persuasive quotes under the post of my products, as I showed you before, which made me understand how to use appropriate forms of writing and how to use a variety of speaking techniques. Identifying problems, setting goals, using prior learning, seeing possibilities and challenges positively. All these skills are not just important in the project, but all these skills are also important in real life. In the beginning of the project, as I said, I didn't have much experience applying MIP and future IB skills in real life situations. In the conclusion of my project, it gave me exposure to gain experience. I truly understood for myself that I want to help people in the future, and it was very enjoyable seeing smiles on other people's faces. Thank you for your attention.